friends, and welcome back to another Needlessly Nostalgic. I am one of your hosts, Tyler Nichols, with my other host, Mr. Lance Velchek. Lance, I always, whenever we do these, I'm always like, I should actually prep and know what we're actually going to talk about for our little intro thing. And I never know. And then I panic as soon as I start doing the intro thing and start going, what the fuck am I going to ask Lance about?
Yeah, don't you always say, like, hey, how you doing? Your history. That's like the vibe. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, I guess that is true, but I feel like there's still, sometimes it can be a little too like, okay, boom, Child's Play 2.
I don't mind. I mean, I feel camaraderie is natural. It comes out naturally or whatever. We can't, don't ever feel pressured to like perform is what I'm saying. We'll get to the heart of this.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. If that's what you're asking, I think I'm doing okay. It's a lovely summer day for me.
Lovely summer day. I think this drops in December.
Same thing. It's always summer. It's always summer in my heart. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it's
How are
not
you?
summer for me. I am doing wonderfully. I've got
time of your life.
Yeah, busy as all hell and glad to be going through the Child's Play franchise because glad we're not doing something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
That might
depressing.
be a fun one though, because maybe we'll just like be real funny and angry, you know?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that during the winter.
No, that's the summer. I'm just thinking like, it's a franchise I don't want to do because I know I'm not going to like it. But then I'm like, well, what if that's like the charming aspect? Because I know I'm going to like it. I like this series. I always have. There's a soft spot for Chucky. So it's like, I'm like, oh, good. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun. The first was a cold movie. So that actually was timed really well.
Yeah, that's very true. It was a very cold movie. Did you end up watching the Doc of Chucky part?
I did. Like there's some information, but I feel at this point, like, I guess I'm looking for something I'm not going to find for this movie. Like it's essentially, we made a movie. It was fun and people had a good time. Like there wasn't any like good, personally, unless you're thinking of something I'm not, I didn't feel there's any twists and turns in this one.
Yeah, I mean, part one had so much shit, whereas like Tom Holland being a menace.
Yeah, him getting removed, the score changing and rechanging, but this is like, we made a movie. Like they said, like, oh, we went to Universal because Spielberg was like a friend of the producer. That was it. But besides that, I mean, it was good. It was entertaining. But I for some reason, I just always wanted more. I think I told you earlier. I tried to watch the commentary and I didn't get a chance because it doesn't exist, or at least not on the release I have. And that bummed me out because I would like the director, Lafia, to talk. I want to hear his thoughts, but that's not ever going to happen. So I think this movie is just pretty much said and told.
Yeah, it's never going to happen, as evidenced by our talk of his suicide last week.
But he got it in the commentary when the thing came out. Like you said, 2018. Come on, Lafia. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, I did. I just tried to look up to see if it was available on like the DVD or anything like that, and no, there's nothing. This franchise does not have a lot of commentary tracks, unfortunately. Which I love a commentary track, so yeah, it's disappointing.
Well, even if they're bad,
your time.
I want them to exist. We talked about the Halloween franchise is a great example of like most of the commentary sucked, but I'm glad that I know they sucked as opposed to me wondering, you know, I don't want to forever, fantasize about what could have been. I need to know the hard truth. And for this, especially 2, I love 2. And I'm like, what could have been? Like this guy everybody seemed to like him. He seemed to have his shit together. I'd like him to explain his process, especially how this movie looks. Yeah. It's a very different look and vibe, not so much, but look, especially to the first.
Yeah, it's very different. This has John Lafia's fingerprints all over it versus Tom Holland, who has a bit of a more serious tone, which this movie's still serious, but it has more of a playfulness and whimsy that the first does not, including we finally get like Chucky's iconic laugh where he's like maniacal with his laughter.
Yeah. What else did John Lafia do? You said he has fingerprints all of it. I feel embarrassed to say I don't know his work that well. Big fan of Man's Best Friend, huh?
I was just about to say Man's Best Friend. That's the major one that I know. He didn't really do much.
I'd have to revisit that. I'll be real honest. As a kid, I saw it when it first came out on VHS. I was little, and I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of corny.
It's not.
I wonder
good.
how. Yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe is it? But maybe is it going to be such so bad it's good? I'm going to have a fun time with it, or is it just bad?
I felt, you know me, I don't like those middle of the road kind of movies, and that's kind of what it felt like to me. I think there's a couple moments because I'm pretty sure Lance Henriksen is in it, correct?
Yeah, he has like one of those laser guns.
Yeah. So like it has moments, and obviously that cover is incredible with the like half cyborg dog.
But I feel it doesn't live up to that. I think that was my big issue as a kid.
Yeah, which is 100%. Like it does not. It's essentially just a dog the whole movie. So that does not. That doesn't really properly represent what that cover seems to imply. So I don't know. Maybe I'd have to revisit it. Maybe I would have a better time with it now going into it and having less expectations. But I was not a fan. But what was your history with Child's Play 2? Did you have
at a very young age? Very young age. Probably close to the first. For some reason, as a little kid, this one seemed to have unnerved me more than the first. It's just interesting because I feel they're both dark films, but the first one obviously is just taken, like just the tone of it and how it's filmed. It's more of a serious film. But for some reason, this one got on my skin more. But it's always affected me. I mean, this is spoilers. It's my favorite, at least as of now. Who knows? Maybe Seed is going to come up from the underdog and change my life. But as of right now, this one is my pick, and watching again, it's clear why. So yeah, I mean, I loved it since I was a kid. It got me, and I think this is my favorite tone. So I always have a soft spot and a good time in Child's Play 2.
Yeah, I definitely saw this at a young age, but I think that for some reason I remember 1 and 3 being on TV more. So I had more of an experience with those films. And then it wasn't until the DVD era that I got this and was finally like, oh yeah, this is my favorite of the Chucky movies. Because there was that like time. There was a time where like Bride of Chucky was my favorite because I saw that like right when it came out on VHS. I was very young. So like there's something about these like that like MTV style to that one that appealed. But then getting to actually own the first 4 movies on DVD. Second one was always the one I went back to probably the most. I mean, it'd be pretty neck and neck with the first one because that's just how I was. If I was going to watch the second one, I felt like I needed to watch the first one because they play off each other very well. And I don't know, they're a good double feature. So I've always enjoyed the second one a lot.
I mean, let's say this, and it's premature, and we're going to revisit this obviously in a ranking. I enjoyed these movies a lot. I think they're fun. There is some quality discrepancies, we could say. Mm-hmm. But I would say to you that if you were to just have a double feature like 1 and 2, and didn't continue as a franchise, this might be one of the strongest like horror villains of all time. You know, because Freddy 1 and 2, not so much. Freddy 1 and 3, we'll have a conversation. Halloween 1 and 2, I don't know. Halloween 1 and 4, let's have a conversation. Even though that's the same fucking movie.
Friday 1 and 2, like, there's not. Yeah. Hellraiser 1 and 2, I guess, is a good 1-2 punch.
That would be, I think, the comparison here, actually. Yeah. And you know that I have a soft spot for Bloodlines, but really, it's rare for them to have such a strong opening and such a strong sequel. That is rare. Yeah. A lot of times for horror, you need a couple to kind of figure out your thing. Like you come out strong, you kind of stumble a little, and then you're like, okay, this is where we're going to go with it. And then Nightmare on Elm Street's a great example. Great at first entry, and it took them a trip. I'm trying to think. Friday 13th, I think we and me are pretty much on the same page where it's like, it took them a couple movies to really figure out what they wanted to do. I know you love 2. But
I love 2 more of a slasher way, but like in terms of what Friday the 13th becomes and the Jasonness of it all, it took them a while to actually find their legs and what they wanted to do with that franchise. Meanwhile, I mean, the first Child's Play, it's more mature and a bit different than some of the films later on, but it still feels like an appropriate launching pad for what the franchise would later become. Doesn't feel like so out of left field.
Yeah, which I'm trying to think out of like Texas Chainsaw is probably a good example where like they never really figured out how to do that again, and they just kind of throw shit at the wall. Some of it's really goofy, some of it's really dumb, some of it's just contrived. Friday the 13th, yeah, basically what Jason became, what we loved, that took him like essentially most of the Child's Play franchise series. Hellraiser is just a weird amalgamation of that kind of shit. I'm trying to think what other franchise, because I think Halloween, that's another good thing. It's after the first, they really just never could figure out what they wanted to do. Yeah. So Child's Play is really honestly one of the, at least in the early years, one of the most consistent and oddly enough focused.
Yeah, I would agree. It's one, and obviously with Don Mancini being involved to some degree on all of the films, I think that probably helps that out a lot. And he's also seems to be accepting of some of the changes. Like because we talked in the last episode of how the bones of that film are Mancini, but they changed a lot of details, and Mancini could have then revolted and pulled a J.J. Abrams with Rise of Skywalker and gone, no, Last Jedi, we're switch all that stuff. We're just going to change because that wasn't my idea. And thankfully Mancini didn't take that route, and he just kind of rolls with the punches and is like, no, this is something that's been established and we're just going to continue on with that, which I think is admirable.
And in all fairness, we never saw his movie, but based on the changes that were made and what was there before, I think about one of those situations where, like, and it's an ego thing you got to take, but they made what he did better, and he was able to take what they did that was better and then take it in what we both agree, a better direction. And this is somebody who, I'll fully admit, if you were to say, hey, Child's Play 1, the original is my favorite, I would never even fight you. I'm like, oh, yeah, understandable. Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, I love 2, but I love 1 so close that, I wouldn't talk shit. It's not like you're saying Texas Chainsaw 2 is better. It's like, let's hold on.
Yeah.
Let's step back.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this. Sorry, Jack, Chucky's back. That's the tagline for this. We don't usually do taglines, but I just see it there. And
great original trailer. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's fucking incredible. Like I love they knew how to market this series in a very good way. There's a reason why so many people of like our generation have a strong like affinity towards Chucky, because it's like they marketed towards the like they got kids intrigued, but it was still cool for adults. But Child's Play 2 is from 1990. This was directed by John Lafia, written by Don Mancini, starring Alex Vincent, Jenny Agutter, Garrett Graham, Christina Leese, obviously Brad Dourif, Grace Zabriskie, Beth Grant, Peter Haskell, and where is he at?
I was going to say, you get one more, buddy.
Greg German. Oh, why? Who?
Garrett Graham? Garrett Graham, you mean?
I already said him.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to lie to you.
Third.
I was even listening because I was like, he's not going to say this fucking guy. I have it highlighted, waiting for you not to say it to jump in.
I said him third. You. I said him third. Come on.
Oh, because he's obviously on the list. That's why. You're just going down the list.
Well, no shit. I don't fucking know these from memory. I don't care that. I don't know any. You might be able to get me to do that for like Scream, but even then I'll miss
Dr.
someone.
Pankow. Well, yeah. Greg German or German, whatever his name is, he was the guy from Ally McBeal, which
yes, I can't think of Ally McBeal without thinking of the dancing baby, which dear God, were we not we're so far removed,
and that like looked good. I remember being like, wow, pretty good effects. Like I have that memory. Oh man, that ages me. I think my beard just went fully gray saying that.
Well, yeah, I've always really liked this movie, and I think you really can't beat the opening. Like, does this have one of the greatest openings ever for a horror franchise? Like the recreation of Chucky.
But it's so good that it really makes you because every time he comes back, they do a pretty good job of like giving you a logical reason. This is actually the only time in the series where it doesn't make any sense. It's like why the eyes actually like it doesn't make it, but it's so fucking cool that you just go, okay, he's back. I'm in. I'm invested.
Yeah. It reminds me, there's like a little bit of the guy from Toy Story 2 who cleans up Woody. There's like a little of that same feeling when Chucky's getting cleaned up. Where I'm like, oh, I could just watch like YouTube videos of like old dolls getting cleaned up. This is very satisfying.
It was Newman, right? Yeah, the guy who did that was Newman. Dwayne Knight, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, Toy Story 2. I thought you were saying the guy in this that cleans him up. I was like, whoa,
it should have been. Actually, that is an issue I do have. The lack of Newman in Child's Play 2.
It's just so well done. Like you get to see even like the like they're scraping away like with the teeth, and it's like, dude, just replace this. Especially like his whole mouth. It's so gross, and it's like,
I hear the look.
Yeah, like just get rid of it. Just like it's a wash. Like why are you rehabbing this doll? There's no way that this does not take like more effort than just throwing this out and being done with it.
Because they gotta show the old man that the doll is fine. Which, I mean, that's cool movie logic, because it's something that, listen, we could have a conversation now and say it actually makes no sense. Like the doll was blown up, like them rebuilding it and be like, see, it's normal. Like that's an email. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just be like the doll's like, hey, lawyer said the doll's fine, but we get a cool scene out of it. And and I also think, because we're seeing the offices outside of the actual factory, because we're used to doing it with machines, and it's colorful and it looks childlike, like the office itself, like the machine's yellow, like the whole thing it almost has like a Disney quality where, they make everything like themed. Like this is a themed a DIY little toy building center. I love it.
I mean, the production design on this is just amazing. And I mean, he didn't do it, but like this is all John Lafia. Like Lafia is the one that wanted this bright childlike look to it. I guess the comparison that he always had was Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And it's one of those things that I didn't pick up as a kid.
No,
it's just I thought it was interesting, but now that you say that, and it's like, absolutely. I mean, everything is colorful, even when it's not at a factory or at let's say the classroom per se. Yeah. Even when it's in the house, you have like these blue walls, you have like bright red lipstick on the chick. It's just like he does a lot of cool things with colors, and not to mention, and we're not seeing so much here, but his use of wide angle lenses, I think, is amazing.
Yes.
Everything kind of feels like a little off.
Yeah, I guess his whole mindset behind it was he wanted this whole movie to, which probably lends to why you found this more creepy as a child, was that he wanted it to be from the child's perspective. Like he wanted it from Andy's perspective. Yeah. So the wide angle lenses, and he shoots low a lot of this film, which you don't notice like outright, but then once you're told, it's like, oh yeah, I see that all the time throughout this, which that's probably why it's like slightly scarier, because it's not just shot like a typical movie.
And if you think
very
about
beautifully
it,
done.
Yeah, I think it's prettier, but also like pretty much Andy's the main character, whereas before Andy was definitely like an important part, but we had the perspective of the mom sometimes. What's his face? The detective. Like we switched around. Like this movie, outside of like them like setting up locations and having some family drama, like we are following him. Mm-hmm. It's like he's dealing with like a lot more, I think, in the story, or at least like we're focused on him. So it's like, I think you're right. That does add a level of uncomfortability as like a child, because it's like you put yourself in this kid's shoes. I remember him getting locked in the classroom. I remember that kind of freaking me out as a kid. Thinking like, oh shit, you could just the teacher could just lock you in. What if there's a killer doll?
What if there's a fire? I mean, you're locked in that fucking classroom, and there's like heavy doors. Like, come on. And like the windows are pretty like secured as well.
It was the 90s.
Yeah. Trust me, I remember that was back in the day where there was full trust in the teacher. It's like, yep. If you say this is what needs to happen, it needs to happen. Which, gotta love it. Well, you and I love the getting brought back by electricity, and like electricity isn't like it's not like in
the impetus?
Frankenstein or Jason Takes Manhattan, where it's the impetus for him getting brought back. It's more of like Chucky almost causes the electricity. He gets made whole, so then it like essentially causes like this electrical storm.
The evil.
Yeah. It's like as soon as he's like fully placed back together, then suddenly it's like, which I guess makes sense because we've already seen in the first movie with the fucking explosion in the toy store. It's like, okay, once Chucky's back in business, there's a little bit of some kind of energy release.
They should have kept that though. I feel like that's the one thing where they because you're right though, that'd be a cool thing to always do. Every time he gets back, it's like we get a crazy, and also a fun little stunt. The guy like flips out the window. That's cool.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Yeah. Oh, and like I'll always love I like that an electrocution. It's just fun.
Yeah, the old style too. Like not the CGI. That's like that's a specific kind. You know, like that's like the old movie kind. Like if I were to make a movie, that's a type I would have in. I would spend extra money to have like the old type of electricity.
Yeah, where it's literally, it seems like it's just painted on by animators. Yeah, which I love that.
Big Trouble in Little China kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Which looks so good. And then we got to talk about, because there was a draft that did have Catherine Hicks returning. It's like an opening courtroom scene.
That is an issue. That's an issue that I don't have because I like what the movie did, but. Yeah, you know, after rewatching this in order, it's like she was a really good actress. I think that the character was great. I kind of wish she was in this, though. Putting Andy on his own, I think, like you said, kind of gives it a creepier vibe. I don't know. Well, I guess I would have liked a court scene, but at the same time, it's one of those things we talked about where do we need it though? Can you just explain it in the Mr. Alec McBeal walking down the hallway, he also says, which I like, why the cops, you know, detectives, he goes, the cops are smart enough to deny it. Essentially, like, you know, the cops don't want to get in some sort of lawsuit. So you have the mother, but they don't believe it. They think she's crazy. So it's like they kind of do sum it up. They could have had it, but yeah, I guess the argument is, do we need it? And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is just, this is an hour and 24 minutes long.
It's tight. It's tight.
So, I mean, a fucking like 4-minute courtroom scene, I wouldn't have hated it. Just because then we get a little bit of closure with the Catherine Hicks character, and it feels a little less like she abandoned him. It's more that Andy's actually being taken away. Which there's there's little lines of dialogue where it's like they make it clear of like she was like Andy was taken, but I would have liked to have had that connection. But we also at this point in time, franchise sequels still were not like just the norm. It wasn't, or like had a setup of like, oh, these are the rules. You have to bring this person back. You have to bring that person back. So I'm okay with Lafia being like, we don't need her.
Yeah. I mean, didn't they say that Mancini was writing a script for this, but the studio had a secret second script being written, and they were basically going to say, we're going to make whatever ones we find to be better. Yeah. So even that shows you, like, they just, you know, a lot of people shoot from their hips. And, you know, listen, you make a good point, though. She could have hugged her son or said, I love you, Andy. We could have got a little emotional beat, and it would have been nice. But, like, you're right. I mean, people, it's just like, dude, you never know. Like, people change shit all the time. They change companies. So it sucks. But, you know, this movie's strong. I think if this movie was underwhelming, I could see myself having a bigger issue with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it still works. I like the Foster angle is interesting, where like I don't outright dislike, was it Joanne Simpson, but I'm not
Agater or I can't say, I always say it's Agater or Agater.
I always say Agater, but yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've had to say her name multiple times, and I think
my accent goes for that hard A anyway. So yeah, I'm going to say Jenny Agater. And if it is Augator, I want you to know that I say apple and bag. So it's like, that's just how I'm going to talk. I'm not going to change.
Yeah. Unlike her and like, I think Phil's a little colder, but also when you watch this movie, and especially if you watch it from his perspective, Andy is like crazy and a little shit. Like if I had a foster kid, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like quit this shit. Quit acting like a child.
Can you really blame the guy? And I'm going to refer to him as Pankow, because that's Pankow is his character from not Big Trouble, Parker Lewis. And so like I've never really known his name in this. I just think of him as that. So so I just want to say now, I'll do my best, but I might switch it around because I don't call him by his character or actor name, you know? But I think about it. He runs this house. It seems like everybody's a little shit. Maybe there's some good kids, but you got some teenage girl up here basically smoking and fucking not unpacking. You got some little kid who might be crazy. It's like, I think he could take it down a notch, but I actually don't think he's in the wrong for being a little bit cold. You know, like start off cold and warm up. Yeah. Because you don't want to give your heart out to get heartbroken or find out they're nuts.
Yeah. Well, and he's not outright super cold and like
he's not evil. He's not like an evil foster care dad.
Yeah. Which I always, growing up and watching this, I always viewed him as evil. But then I think like growing up, like being an adult, then I look at him like, oh no, he's just like, I don't know, more reserved, and he's like kind of waiting for this kid making sure this kid can actually behave.
He's an old school guy. I mean, heck, when was he born? He's probably born like the 40s, you know? 49. I think he's nice for a guy born in 49. He can be a lot colder. There we go. We solved that. He's appropriate for his era.
Well, and I love the look of the house, the Simpson house, right? Which is hilarious. It's called the Simpson house, and it's like pink, the pink interior. It looks like a doll.
Isn't that? It's one of those things where I don't think it's like it's just tweaked enough where, like, you know, the wallpaper's pink, but it's like this kind of creepy blue. But I feel like the structure of it just seems a bit funhousey, you know, like I can't prove it, but I bet they made the windows like a little longer than they should be. Stuff like that to kind of warp the perspective, because it seems like a fucking fun house. Just the second he walks in, the second the kid's in there and he's looking around, I'm like, this is a strange house. As a kid, I kind of thought it'd be fun to play around in, but it's like, who owns that? Yeah. I think it's just set design to make you uncomfortable, like you said.
But you see it from the outside, and it's just like a standard white house. Like, yeah, it looks beautiful, but like, yeah, the inside you don't expect what it actually is. Which again, I think the wide angle lenses add to the funhouse effect.
It's still colored weird. It's colored weird enough where that plus the lens plus the color of the set makes scary. Yeah, it's scary is the wrong word. Weird.
It's a grandma house. Like the furniture, the colors, the stuff on the walls. It's fucking weird. I wouldn't want to live in this house. It reminds me of too much. Like nothing looks comfortable. Looks just like old and gross. Not gross. I shouldn't say that. Just not my style.
It just looks weird. There's something weird about this. Like it's trying to be like a. Like imagine if this house was dusty and cobwebby. Like it has that sort of like it's a pre-haunted house, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple murders later.
I mean, that's what's going to be happening because obviously Simpsons both die, and so who's going to want to buy this place afterwards? It's going to just sit.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like really, yeah, I want to hear the story where this house is now, you know? Is this like a legend to little kids? You know, is it torn down to make the neighborhood a regrowth, or you know, to get over it, and like they did with oh my gosh, what's the guy's name? Who's the clown who's near us? Gacy. You know, they tore down his house. They're like, nope. So maybe this is a torn down house because the Simpsons legend has grown.
Yeah, it very well could be. Which I was just going to ask of like, where do we think this takes place? But if it's the Good Guy Doll Factory, like it has to be.
It's Chicago. It's not filmed there, but at the very end when I'm so bad at names. When Kyle was driving, Chucky's in the back of the Sun Times. Remember before? I think in the last episode I said I was a tribute family, and the other one I couldn't think of is Sun Times. But it's funny because nothing looks like Illinois to me. This is too pretty.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but like, you know, Illinois, like, especially Cook County, it's cold as shit. Like it's not. I mean, maybe you know, you're far west, but you know what I'm saying. It's too clean.
I mean, they filmed this in Los Angeles and like South Pasadena, which looks like the toy factory was in Long Beach. So yeah,
everything looks. That's why everything looks nice, right? Like there's that greenish glow. Is Pasadena where Bill and Ted are from?
San Dimas.
Oh, is that San Dimas?
Yeah, San Dimas,
Who the
which
hell's from
I
Pasadena?
assume it's a real place. Dude, Pasadena's where Halloween was filmed.
But I mean, like, what, like, culturally would I know Pasadena from? Like, what movies set there? What's for some that name just sounds cool to me. Pasadena.
I just know because everything is like so many things are filmed there. But like Back to the Future was filmed there.
Does Back to the Future does that take place in Pasadena though? Maybe that's it.
No, it's Hill Valley.
But is it Hill Valley, Pasadena? I don't know. I'm just asking.
No,
Hill Valley, Pasadena?
Hill Valley, California. That's its own place.
Wow. Not like a little nook in Pasadena. Well, fuck, maybe that's it. Maybe Pasadena is like the backdrop. It can never be Pasadena. It has to be something else.
I mean, Pasadena's been like so many different, the setting of so many different places over the years. It's just,
it makes this one pretty. I don't mind it. I don't mind it that they changed, honestly. I mean, the first one, it's set more it's set actually in the city the whole time. So this is the burbs. That's fine. You could say this is a fancy burb in Illinois, and I believe it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you immediately lose the Chicago quality.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, but I like the set design and the camera work so much that it doesn't really bother me. It's like, okay.
No, it gives its own life, its own vibe.
Yeah. And let's talk, because Kyle's introduced during this whole introduction. She's like literally smoking a cigarette.
I know. The 90s, buddy. That's all I could think. Because they don't yell at her for smoking. They yelled at her for not unpacking, which made me realize, oh, yeah, because for some reason at her age, you could just, not that's illegal, but you smoking in a house wasn't weird. Like, it's one of those things, it wasn't weird when I was a kid and in my young teens. So it's just funny that I've lived long enough for like, I'm now conditioned to be like, that's weird, because it wasn't. So to me, it's like, oh, wow. 1990, huh?
It's still just the strangest thing. I remember I had a buddy in college that they would smoke cigarettes in his house, and it was always the weirdest thing. And even if someone wasn't smoking at that time, like you knew as soon as you walked in there that it was like, oh yeah, this was you're able to smoke cigarettes in here, which like that's all I can think of when it comes to anything like pre, I don't know, 95. It's like, yeah, just everything smelled like cigarettes. Everything. Walk there, oh, it smelled like cigarettes. Walk here, smell like cigarettes.
Dude, my first 3 apartments with my friends were smoking apartments. Like you couldn't smoke in my room, but you could smoke anywhere else. Yeah. And it's one of those things that it's like I can't even remember. And it wasn't that. I'm not talking 25 years ago. I'm thinking like it's just weird. But it was still long enough for now. It's like, even if you have apartments, your friends smoke outside.
Oh yeah. So the last apartment that I had, it smelled weird when he first moved in, because it was them trying to cover up, because like the lady that had lived there before us, she had lived there for like, I don't know, 20 years and smoked in the apartment, like cigarettes. And it got to, by the end of our lease, so we were only there for a year, but like, the tar started to like seep through the paint. It's like, yeah,
it looks yellow, right?
Yeah. Is that, and like a little brown sometimes. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, oh, okay, that's why it smells like this here. That makes more sense.
It sweats sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a whole different era, which then later on, fucking Andy takes a drag from the cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah. The 90s. I loved it.
What a different
Smoking is normal, buddy. So you can just smoke everywhere.
As someone who's like never been a smoker, like it's just super weird to me to see that kind of thing.
Yeah, I never smoked. I don't know. It's gross. It smells like shit. It tastes like shit. It's just not my thing, but
give me a cigar.
What you love.
Yeah, I'll take a cigar. Okay. Cigars are nice.
Yeah. Well, that's like a nice woody smell.
Yeah. It's a classic. Chucky dealing with Mr. Greg Gurman himself in the car. I think that's like really our first little instance of like what Chucky will then become.
I consider this a classic scene. This kind of messed me up as a kid, and not messed me up, I should say, but I remembered like him thinking like, there's that little moment of levity where he scripts the squirt gun. He's like, and he's the guy's laughing too, Mr. Alan McBeals is having a good time. He's like, oh, thank God I'm not going to be killed. And then, boom, the bag. And it's aggressive and it's mean. And this is, I think, our first really good look at a live Chucky. And I said last episode that I do really enjoy him with brows. I think it's super creepy, but I've also come to really love what this is like to me, prime Chucky, though. This is peak. And the reason is that his eyes are a lot bluer, bigger, and he doesn't have brows now. He just has like that little stencil. And I swear his brow bone is more enhanced.
Much more pronounced,
I think he looks, this to me is scary. This is what Chucky should always look like. I wish to God we could go back to this. I don't know why we can't. You said I'll learn that eventually in a franchise chat, and I'm excited for that information.
And just to tease it, we're also going to learn it even more so because we are going to be talking to Mr. Tony Gardner, who's the puppeteer behind Chucky from Seed of Chucky on and created the new puppets. So from Seed on, because I'll just say now, like they threw them out. The Universal or whoever just threw out the old puppets, so then they had to start from scratch.
You can't figure. I mean, I don't know. That's
what we're going to talk to him about. We're going to find out what that process was like, and you can get into all of that with him without letting him know that you hate the new designs.
Yeah, it's just this is such a classic. 1 through 3 just has a look that we've never replicated, and it breaks my heart. But I think this is a cool kill. It's mean. It's also kind of, it's cute. Like the squirt gun, he ties his hands with the jump rope. Like we talked about how the bones of not only of the series, but Chucky himself was in the first one. He was still there. It's not a different character, but it's like there's just slight enhancements here with not only his look, but his attitude, which I believe this is the beginning of Chucky that would be in commercials and in pop culture. It starts here. I don't think it's perfected here, and maybe we could argue that. But I do think like this is the first movie with Chucky in it that we know and love.
Well, and what makes him so scary in this scene is the fact that he does have this guy dead to rights. He could easily just walk away and literally nothing would happen to Chucky. He would not have suddenly some guy, because like this guy doesn't know that it's a fucking doll that's going after him. He would just be stuck in this car. Someone might happen upon him at the park the next day and set him free, or he might be able to loosen himself up. But no, he has every out, and Chucky still fucking kills the guy, which then establishes, you have no way out with Chucky. He'll just fucking murder you because he likes killing.
The guy can't stop Chucky's plan because he doesn't know about him calling the orphanage. So it's he's doing it because he can, and that's creepy. That's a good horror villain. Yeah. And Chucky coming into the house and meeting up with little Tommy, the other doll. Like that's a great moment. The twofer that has both of them in the frame as Chucky's looking at him all pissed off. And what's his face? Mancini admitted that it's actually a little reference to Tom Holland. Yeah. Which is funny because in that doc he's very polite and in this they literally cut to him smashing the face as he's saying it. I'm like, okay, all right, man. I like it. It's awesome that she keeps the doll in the house. He knows his kid's traumatized. She's like, whoops, my bad. Which okay, fair enough. I know you're a busy woman. You got a lot to do. Yeah. But then it's still in the house. She doesn't completely just destroy the thing. I don't know, but yeah, she's busy. I get it.
Yeah, you got to get that thing out. Which then, I mean, Andy, because he overhears the Simpsons talking. It's like this fucking. Essentially, they're going like, this kid. He still thinks this doll's an issue. So Andy comes out with the doll and acts like he's all friendly with the doll because he doesn't realize that's Chucky. We're just like, oh, Andy, you poor thing.
Yeah, it's like, dude, be smart. But I do actually enjoy that. It's not too long after this because again, this is a tight movie. I mean, there's not an ounce of fat on this bone.
No,
not a smidgen. I mean, he's in bed, and then what? Like the next scene is Chucky has him tied up. And I also kind of appreciate that Chucky's not really wasting time. He's like he's pretty much on his shit. Okay, finds where he is, goes straight there, and he's like, I got to get back in that body. So I do appreciate that everybody here is not wasting time. Andy's not doubting himself or this. He's like fucking on it.
Yeah, for its first opportunity. This isn't playing around where then you're then thinking like, why would Chucky not try to take advantage of the situation as soon as he can? It's like, no, he absolutely tries the moment that he can. ties Andy up, and yeah, it's like did you notice? Because I remember last time you were talking about the Ade Due Dembala thing. Is it extended in all of this?
Yes, yeah, because he does it like a couple times. He does it enough times. It seems like in the first movie, it's really just a one round thing. And this, because Chucky gets interrupted, and it's like he definitely goes through at least like a verse or whatever it is in my mind.
Yeah.
So this is the movie that I think, and probably because if this is going to be his main objective for like the next handful of movies, they can't have it be like a quick 2 sentences. And he'd be like, well, it has to be something you can do again and again and again.
Yeah, rituals don't tend to be just like a sentence long. It tends to be something that you have to repeat a little bit, do a little more with.
Sure, yeah, maybe it makes sense. It's like, listen. The point of if a ritual would be accidentally said in a sentence, I feel like the world would be a more messed up place. There'd be a lot more voodoo going on if it was that easy. Yeah. It took a lot more to get Bernie possessed in the dance, than it did the original Child's Play doll. So,
well, and let's talk about Chucky. That little shit of like Andy takes him to school, and he goes through the effort of going through the kids' assignments so that he can find Andy's and write "fuck you, bitch" on it.
That's what I'm saying. That's the beginning of the Chucky we love. But it's also played super like it's funny, but it's dark. It has that overhead shot, and the teachers get super angry. And I think I always think about how I viewed this as a kid, but it's like that teacher gets so angry, and I was like, oh my god. He's so screwed. He's going to be in such big trouble. And it's like, oh, it's so cute that was like I remember thinking that mindset of like, oh my God, as opposed to like now I'm like, well, one, that's kind of funny. And two, like, oh, poor kid, he's screwed, but not like that sense he's going to get in trouble. It's like, he's going to get murdered.
Yeah.
But the teacher's awesome.
I have a hard time seeing Beth Grant and not immediately just thinking of a teacher. Like she just has such teacher vibes.
Yeah, knocks it apart. And I was like, what do I know her from? And then it's like, oh my God, she was the old mom in Rain Man, which was one of my favorite movies. And then I was like, oh, she's also the crazy chick from Donnie Darko. She's when it's all about oh my God, fucking Roundhouse himself, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Being the cult leader or the
she's also the lady that gets killed in Speed because she's won't listen and she tries to get off the bus, and so Hopper blows it and she fucking goes under the wheel.
Yeah. Holy shit, she's the old grumpy lady in Speed.
Yeah, dude, she is one of the ultimate character actors that you look at her filmography and it's just like she's been so busy over the years, just appearing in damn near every little thing. I mean, she's the type of person that you look and it's like she'll have 10 credits a year because she's just working, and she's obviously a lot of people like her, and she just fits in so many different roles. I've always really liked Beth Grant.
The best type of actor. Like, I'm not an actor and I never will be, but I always thought like I'd like to be somebody like her, where you don't spend a lot of time set. You just do a couple things. Like, you essentially have like 3 roles you just do really well. So it's like, it just seems easy and fun. And it's constant work, but it's probably not great hours, but like, yeah, you work a bunch and then you make enough money where you're kind of good for a while, but you always have more work coming in because you're these 3 roles and everybody likes you. It's just like that. I don't want to be big. I want to be DiCaprio. I want to be her. I want to be Beth Grant.
I'm really curious as to how much she just gets from residuals, since she has her hand in so many different little honeypots. And
I bet if we look up right now, she probably did a couple TV shows, did a couple spots, a couple guest spots on some syndicated shows. And that alone, I bet she's in Seinfeld. She just seems like she'd be in some episode,
I mean, she was in Friends, she was in Malcolm in the Middle, so it would not shock me if she was in the Golden Girls even. I'm just like looking through. I guess I feel bad looking like as we're talking.
I just want to see if she's in Seinfeld. I mean, at this point, if you said those two shows, I'm like, there's a chance.
I'm shocked she's not. I thought for sure she might be, but I'm not seeing her name.
No.
But regardless, Beth Grant, absolutely love Beth Grant. She's great in this and has what I would consider to be one of the all-time deaths in the Child's Play franchise, which is crazy because a lot of it is just implied. There's not a whole lot of violence with the death itself.
No, just the stick, like the cool POV, not the POV shot, but the cool shot of the window, like you're outside the school and the bloody stick goes up and goes down like that. And this is one of those kills that, I remember being worse I've known for a while now, it's all implied, but like if you were to ask a younger me, it's like, I remember this being very intense. And that says so much with the camera angles, the acting, I think the score is amazing too. Something we didn't talk about before, but
yeah, the score is fantastic. It really makes you feel everything. And the Lafia, I remember he was such a perfectionist that they spent all day on the shot of Chucky coming out of the closet with the ruler. It's like, yeah, I can understand a producer being like, okay, we need to move on. This is taking way too long. But that shot's iconic. It's one of the best of the whole franchise. So I get it.
And it's probably the first time. Well, it's the first time in the movie you get the full. I think you wait to the very end, right? I believe the first one to kind of get that, but not the end, but at least the third act to get Chucky like walking and the full, not like you don't see half or this half or it's implied. Like we see right away he's walking towards the screen. And I think that you really do need to nail that because it can't look goofy. It can't look. It's too early in the movie to kind of make me go, oh yeah, I forget this is a puppeteer,
Yeah. Which Kevin Yeager obviously did the Chucky movement and like special effects for the film. And I know that he actually directed a lot of the scenes that like Chucky was moving in, though, because you would think, because one of the reasons that he did it at the studio was like, we need to be moving fast. So you would think that Lafia wouldn't have been there for it, but Lafia was there. So
he's on set the whole time. Yeah. Cause isn't the joke that Lafia directed, mostly the puppets. And then you had, who's the, oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. I'm doing bad with names today. Who's the effects artist?
Kevin Yeager. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeager was saying he was doing some of the, directing the actors. It's like, what are we doing here,
it's
man?
Hilarious. Well, and they had the studio also hired like an emergency. They had like a backup just because Lafia wasn't making his days, which I can't remember who it was, but yeah, they had some backup that then I think they only ended up having to utilize him once. And yeah, so Lafia could have unfortunately been replaced on it, but thankfully I think the crew rallied behind him a lot, aka Kevin Yeager doing, stepping in and directing some stuff without like an unofficial capacity.
And it's been said though that everybody on set had it like it was a very positive set, like compared to I know that it was only Alex Vincent, but even Mancini was saying it's like the set was very like just calm. It was relaxed. It wasn't stressful. Nobody's yelling. So I do think that probably helped him keep his job because you probably had a lot of people on that set. They're like, hey, no. He's an easygoing guy. We could work with him because, Tom Holland did come off kind of like a curmudgeon in Child's Play 1 and all that behind the scenes stuff, even though I think he did a great job.
Yeah, he definitely came across like he kind of knew best, which I'm not sure if he did. Fine.
But I'm also surprised that Lafia didn't get more work, being that this was obviously a success. And I think it's a really interesting looking movie. He moves the camera, his lens choice. I mean, I know it's a lot of cinematography, but it's the director who's just telling you what he wants. So I think, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't get to do a ton more.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out as to who it must have just been the,
We've all been there. You hold onto a coupon, hoping to cash it in at the store, but then you forget about it. And suddenly you've got a mountain of useless expired coupons.
Do you think this one's still good? Free milk.
Oh, mate, that expired in 1993.
Dang it.
Fortunately, there are better ways to save money, like by switching to Geico. You could save about $900 on car insurance without ever touching a coupon.
Ooh, how about this one? Half off floppy disks.
Now, you should try a bit of spring cleaning.
It feels good to save big. It feels good to Geico.
Essentially, I was mixing things up. So it was Jaeger that helped out with stuff. And then they had brought back that Ed Gale, who we don't look into Ed Gale because the man is not a good person. He just died, but yeah, super pedophile. He played the little Chuck, like he played Chucky in the Wide Shots, which the studio hired him as an insurance policy in case shooting went behind. Which, because Lafia was like constantly in pursuit of perfection. So it was like always a threat of like, you don't get this with the doll, we're going to have to use Ed Gale for this, which apparently they only needed Gale for 2 scenes. But Jaeger he did a bunch of the second unit directorial stuff. So I was mixing up some details.
All right. Good catch. I'm kind of fascinated. So the little guy that played Chucky is a terrible human being, huh?
Yep. Pedophile, like on record. He admitted it on video, and yeah, not good. Yeah, not good at all.
Well, I'm glad that the puppet shows it more, because even the shots in the first one they used a little person, like it's fine, but it was never. I was never fully immersed, even as a kid. I'm like, yeah, I was fine. But this, it's like, no, use a puppet, man. Like the puppet's cool. That's what we're here for. Yeah.
The puppet's always the better look. And I love too Andy Barclay is so just such a good character that he immediately goes into on the offensive. He's not just wanting to run. It's like, no, he was wanting to kill Chucky. Yeah. He gets I don't know what the heck that is. That electric knife, electric carver. Yeah, that is the carver, and goes straight down. Yeah, and he starts stabbing shit too. It's like he's like, okay, he's making it happen. Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go. He's like, I'm not dealing with this again. Which obviously Chucky gets the upper hand on him, but it also results in yet another fantastic death. Yeah, Mr. Pankow. That look yeah, you can call him Mr. Pankow. But that look, with the blue eyes and Chucky beneath the stairs with his little hook thing. It's creepy, such a great look. Yeah. Also the hair. I think the hair is something too that just they don't get the hair right in other ones. No, you're right. I mean, this is the best looking hair, actually, I would say. Yeah. It's the whole thing. I mean, he's pretty. And you said something earlier about them replacing the teeth, and you're joking, they should, and it's true, but it's it's something else I never really put a perspective on, is his teeth are super dirty in this, and that probably does add something. Yeah, it makes it scary, and we get I think one of the greatest one-liners of the whole series. I'm going to say it now, though. I'll in the ranking episode I'll correct myself if so, but he has that cool how's it hanging, Phil? How's it hanging, Phil? Yeah, there's something about that. I'm like, man. Yeah. His eyes are all low and yeah. I mean, it's so good. Apparently they shot because the neck, him breaking his neck was just done in reverse. Yeah, it's a good reverse shot too. Yeah. Because it's something they're oh yeah, something looks off about that, but it's literally just him turning his neck. But since they shot it in reverse, it does look like it broke it. Because I guess you're technically able to I don't know, get a different kind of ramp up with your neck if you're doing one versus the other, which then when it's reversed, it looks unnatural. I love it. It's such a subtle thing that doesn't require any actual special effects, just a reverse. It's done quickly and it's effective. That's movie magic, where it's it's this simple fix and it results in this great thing. Yeah. Also, poor Alex Vincent. I guess a lot of people in this movie are wearing sweaters. There's a lot of sweaters in this movie, which if they're in California, Like, that's brutal.
And also, I mean, maybe I'll correct myself as the movie goes along, but I don't remember them making it any big effort to say it's fall. Like, right? Am I crazy? It seems lovely outside. Really, I think everybody here is a coward and it's probably overdressing. It's probably like 72 degrees.
Yeah,
it takes place in Florida.
It doesn't make sense because, like, I think the original draft was supposed to be set at Christmas time, which is why there's so many dolls at the Good Guy factory. They're like,
I kind of wish they would have kept that. That would have been cool. But I also get that this to me feels like a warmer movie, even though obviously it's probably not. If there was in sweaters, maybe just like the color of it. It's a good contrast with the first one.
I'm sure it got cut because they're like, well, we got to film in California. And like, well, then we're not doing it at Christmas time.
Doing fake snow.
Yeah. Which also, I mean, there's not much. You could send little Andy Barkley to California. Foster system sent him out there. It's like, it doesn't mean I mean, maybe I just don't know the rules, and maybe you do. Maybe it is more of a state program, but it could be a pretty easy explanation of like, oh yeah, I just went out to California, and guess what?
Like, yeah, exactly. His mom's.
The Good Guy doll factory was also out in California, and Chucky got shipped out there. It's like, you don't have to do it doesn't have to be like too crazy.
Oh, it's big. If it's a big enough toy, you could easily tell me that there's like, well, we have one in the West Coast, one in the Midwest, one in the East Coast. Yeah. And I'm looking, there's a little girl in a skirt. I mean, people have sweaters, but it's not. I'm going to claim that it's beautiful outside, but it's maybe slightly chilly compared to what it normally should be. And everybody here's a coward. I think that's what I'm going for. Because the bus driver doesn't have a fucking coat on. So it's like, you know what? No. People need to, they're overdressed. I'm upset now. They're overdressed.
You know what, though? I do think it's supposed to be fall because when Kyle is out swinging on the swing, it is at 51 minutes into the film. There's a bunch of fallen leaves on the ground, which, because this was California, guarantee they had to put those there.
I got to be honest. I mean, there's some, but it's like, okay, then you know what? Then make it a fall movie and lean into that. Give me a pumpkin. I mean, come on, man. Like everything else about this just screams beautiful and warm. And I was like, yeah, they're like a couple sweaters.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't agree.
It doesn't.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't agree with the director is what I'm saying.
Because it's January. I mean, let's see the filming dates for this. Because I think it said October through March were the filming dates. Yeah. Let me double check. Yeah. October 15th, 1989 to March 3rd, 1990. So this really is like end of fall and winter, which if you're in California, like, yeah, it probably would be cold. Yeah. But also visually, and when this is supposed to be in Chicago, it's like, where do you place this? It's like, well, there's too much foliage on the trees to actually be a cold time.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
They should have suffered and just put everybody in t-shirts, you know?
I mean, shit, that's what they do with Friday the 13th. They're like, we don't care that it's January in New Jersey.
Yeah, take you off your top and get in the water.
Yeah, this is supposed to be summer, so deal with it. But yeah, I like the look on Andy's face when the cops essentially come after Pankow gets killed. Because it's that, like, there's like I don't know. It's like a evilness to it. Because it's not intentionally evil in the way of like he's a bad kid, but more of just like he's thinking of so many different things right now. And he doesn't care about like empathy towards his foster dad that just died, especially when it's like, well, they're blaming this on me. And Chucky's still out there and wants to kill me.
He's getting framed for murder. Even it's going to be accidental, but still, it's like, yeah, it's a dark thing. And I do kind of appreciate they immediately basically have him pack his shit and leave.
Yeah,
it's like 20 minutes later, they got the orphanage's I don't know head person. What's her name from Twin Peaks? I apologize on her name either. But like she's back. She's here packing, like taking the kid home. It's like they didn't waste a second. It's like, get this fucking kid out of here now.
Yeah, it was very quickly decided like, nope, Grace Zabriskie. Yeah, you're just like, nope, we're not doing this. Get this out. Or like, get this kid out.
We're not doing.
I can't deal with this. Which I like. I love the whole reveal of Kyle swinging, and then like her feet drag and finds the Tommy doll. Oh, it's so good because it's that moment where it's like she essentially understands that, wait a minute, Andy might be telling the truth.
Yeah. And it's one of those steps and payoffs where earlier, because I think she swings earlier and like the Chucky in like the good guy doll form turns over and looks and basically is worried that she's going to kick up the dirt. So it's like, okay, we set it up and then it's the perfect payoff because you're right. It's enough for her to be, and we like that we both agree, I think, that it's not that's just enough. Like, okay, she's not going to be like, well, Andy, why is this here? Like, we don't need that shit in this movie. Let's not waste her time. Like, I like her. That's enough for me to believe. I'm like, oh, there's a killer doll. Get the gun.
Yep. Just nice little setup. It's fucking fantastic. But this is a good time to bring up because this is when we find Joanne's body and Jenny Agutter. She hates this movie.
Yeah. They cut a lot of her stuff down or out, I believe.
Yeah.
Apparently because they filmed a lot more. I think that's it.
Which is hilarious when you think about that runtime again, where it's like, you probably could have just left it in. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal, guys.
I believe there's a TV cut you could download somewhere where I think some stuff is edited. I believe. I'd have to look that up. I feel like I read that somewhere, or I feel like that's somewhere. I think that's a thing. Look it up. Make sure I'm talking to my ass so I don't get chewed up in the comments here.
Well, I was just looking up deleted scenes. There are 15 minutes of deleted scenes.
Okay, so that makes sense, and then that could be easily put back into a TV cut because this would have to be fluffed up because there's no way you're getting enough commercials in this.
Alternate TV cut.
Okay, that's the one I've heard about. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it has a different ending. Alternate ending. Huh. Yeah, I did not. Well, great. Now you're introducing something that I had no idea about. I figure that alternate ending. Chucky lives. Oh, so I guess it's probably less definitive. Probably makes like a tease of Chucky not having died. I don't know. It's all fucking. Every time I'm finding is fucking YouTube videos versus just a TV, like just a description of the differences.
I'm trying to think. I might have, maybe I've seen I feel like I've seen an alternate ending before, but I can't think of it being super different.
Okay,
is that the one where he smiles? Maybe like it builds him back and is that the one, the smiling one? So
there's a bootleg work print that contains graphic shots of the teacher being killed, which that would be very interesting. But it looks like numerous scenes cut from the original version appear on the USA Network's version. There's 2 different scenes with Joanne and Phil discussing Andy and the adoption agency letting them keep the children they adopt. I mean, what? Yeah, that's such a weird. It's like, yeah, you can foster to adopt. That's not like a weird concept.
It becomes a drama.
An argument between 2 men in the dark after the worker is electrocuted and the sound of Chucky running. The man lands differently after smashing through the glass window after being electrocuted. Before the assistant calls his girlfriend, he calls his wife to tell her he has to work late. I would have liked that.
He did. He was smart. He did come off slimy. I mean, obviously he was doing some slimy shit for the old man there, but
also this is making me realize it's like as soon as I read that, I'm like, wait, I remember that. And then I thought it's like, oh yeah, I've watched this on USA before. So I've definitely seen this back when it aired. Let's see. A different ending shows Chucky's face being created through the machines. Then Chucky gives an evil smile, much like the beginning of Child's Play 3. Yeah.
Okay, I think I do remember that one.
Yeah. So that. Oh, and Kyle tells Chucky playtime's over just before he gets disfigured. God damn, this is like fucking. There's these certain things that from this movie that I always just assume that I like made up in my head. Like I'm like, oh, I just misremembered, and it's like, oh no, it's from the TV cut.
And I don't think these deleted scenes are on our Blu-ray, actually.
No, I don't think
it's just
so.
A theatrical trailer, which it's like, why are these not on there? Are they on the DVD? Did I get screwed?
I was just about to say, does the Shout Factory version have?
That's a good question.
Well, you vamp for a second while I look for this.
Well, regardless if Agatha doesn't like it, I think she does a fine job. I honestly, I get that because all this came from her like not liking that her scenes were cut down. And here's the thing, more would be better, but she serves the role. I don't feel she's underwritten. I think this is one of those roles that, it's kind of just surface level, but she's such a good actress that she kind of brings more or breathes more life into it. And her cool little death reveal is a fun little creepy scene, man. Because you think when she finds her dead, she's like, you think, Chucky's under the bed. He's around somewhere. You know where he's going to be. I don't know. That's kind of stuff. I like that shit. And did she deserve to die? No, but at the same time, it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have left a fucking good guy doll in the bedroom. Because then you'd notice if you had one in your house.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
all I'm saying is that mistakes were made.
It does not sound like it's on the
Shout
Factory.
Fuck?
Which usually Shout Factory is real good about that.
That's what I'm saying. Is there any special features? They pull a time cop and there's nothing?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with because it doesn't. Let's see. There's a bunch of. There's
what?
Audio commentary with director John LaFia.
What the fuck? All right, well, I guess, how about this? Maybe we'll watch that and we could do a fucking, what's it called? A commentary track?
I did a commentary for Child's Play too.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get like an extra episode or something. Because that's like, okay, now I kind of want to listen to that and watch a TV cut.
God damn.
That could be like a mini thing.
Yeah, why the fuck? That's so weird. Why is it not on the stuff that we own? I have multiple versions of this goddamn movie. This is bullshit.
At this point, that to me says we haven't had a definitive Child's Play set. I mean, I'm saying that, but like, of course. But to me, the Blu-ray set that I had, I was like, oh, that's good enough. I assume that was their big set.
I thought so too. Apparently not. Which now with Shout Factory losing its website and moving to Groove.
I'm nervous. I think it's Groove. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's like, well, shit. How long until this kind of stuff is out of print completely?
Yeah, you're right. I got to get the 4K at this point. 1 and 2, I'll just get those and that'll be good enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is definitely not a franchise there. It's like, oh yeah, I need Cult of Chucky on 4K, or I need Seed.
I'm good.
Yeah. I do wish that we got to see I understand they're trying to do the reveal with Jenny Agutt's death, but I do wish we got to see that one.
Was I calling her Agatha? God damn it. I feel I've been, whatever, Agatha. I apologize, guys.
You were saying it
correctly. Now I'm doubting myself going back. I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm just riffing.
No, you were saying Agatha. Miss Joanne Simpson.
Yeah.
Which also,
just got
to say too, we haven't had a talk about bathrobes in a while. Really like her, what it looks to be a bathrobe that she gets killed in.
It's a purple one, right?
Yeah, it's like plaid.
Plaid? Why do I think purple? Jesus.
It's plaid. I mean, it could just be like a pajama set. Regardless, looks very comfy.
I think it's pajama. I guess because it doesn't seem fluffy enough for a robe.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, regardless, we should have a robe. I should make like a little note. Every time I watch a movie, I should look for a robe.
I mean, I love a good robe, but yeah, I do think it's PJs. But I love the like Chucky appearing, like essentially revealing himself to Kyle. Just so well done, and like kidnaps her.
Tries to kill her. For some reason, I thought he was under the bed, but he rips out the sheet. That's a cool little, I believe, a nod to Nightmare on Elm Street. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he gets under the bed afterwards because then he takes she reaches for the knife, but he takes it first. And
I guess it's good. I'm just like mixing it up. It's a cool little scene, and it's one of those things that this is one of those. I just feel like you could cut it down and not really miss anything, but I think it's like that. It's intense. This is like a good, like a little set, like a mini set piece, which I think it doesn't get appreciated because we get reveal the death, a fight. Then it becomes, like you're right, like he's hiding and she has to avoid, and you're thinking, oh, where's going to be? He's going to pop it somewhere. Got to cut her leg or something.
Yeah, often these things, it's all done so quickly. It's like, okay, yep. Chucky's revealed himself, or any killer's revealed himself, and just go for the kill. Where it's like, no, let's do a little, like, tease this shit out a little bit. Let's fucking bring me along for a journey. I don't need it to immediately just go, I don't know, somebody get killed immediately.
No, and that feels like something that would be more in part 1 anyway. So it's like, I think that kind of through line makes this movie better. Because, I think 1, 2, and 3 pretty much have more of that stuff. And then we pretty much ditched that sort of like intense, like he's around somewhere and then it becomes more, it makes sense. It's a little more MTV.
Yeah.
We're not going to have that type of like cat and mouse type of horror in the later sequels.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. And I think I love that line when the cop pulls him over and like Chucky bleeds. She says something of like, yeah, I heard about those dolls that pee. Like this is one that bleeds.
Because they had dolls that would like wet themselves and you'd have to change the diaper.
Yeah. Which also, what a crazy thing that it's like essentially conditioning kids for like motherhood.
Oh, it's super creepy. It's super creepy. Yeah. That you're like, little girls have to take care of children. It's like, I got to have guns and cool toys. And it's like, here's a child, change it and make sure it's, I know there's a paternal thing, but not that age.
I mean, we weren't playing with, dolls that then
I wasn't trying to raise a child.
Diaper. Yeah. Yeah. That didn't seem appealing to me. Fucking, it's weird. The differences.
I do want to say real quick. Yeah. Oh, what? Sorry.
No.
Cut you off.
Nope. I didn't. I'm glad you cut me off. I was about to go down a rabbit hole. We didn't need to.
I really enjoy, and it's I think specific to this movie, at least for the first time, where any other time Chucky was playing a doll, he went back to the good guy face. He called it just the plastic face. And in the car scene, he basically just shutting up, and I like that. He's like, I'm not fucking like turning back. I'm not messing around. Like I got shit to do. I'm not going to like reveal that I'm alive. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet. And I'm like, oh, is it scarier looking? Like it looks like Kyle has this scary doll next to him.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because she does, but it's just like, I'm thinking like in terms of like a logical standpoint from a cop, like this, why the fuck do you have this scary doll?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause it's like, and especially sitting right next to you, how fucking weird are you?
It's everything about it's creepy. But the Chicago cop is just like, and that's the Chicago cop. So it's in city limits, Yeah,
it's very much Chicago. I mean, and even once he gets to a certain, like once it's like out, it definitely feels more Chicago when it's during the whole.
I mean, it's at least city-ish, but still it's, which is fine.
Yeah, not cold enough.
I appreciate them keeping it local, Yeah.
And then I like Chucky going through the window. It's always fun, even though I guess like the big issue is that then they're already at the orphanage foster place.
Yeah, he basically is just like takes her hostage again and like they go straight there.
Yeah, or like, well, okay,
is it next to the knife to the back of her neck. Yeah, it's essentially it's a segue that it doesn't really do anything. You could theoretically remove that scene or like the crash and just cut straight here, and you wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't get you wouldn't get the great shot of him going through the
exactly. And I like the idea of you thinking, oh, okay, Kyle got away, or like essentially it's a good little red herring of like, okay, cool, like she's gonna drive away, and the story that we're gonna get somewhere else. And it's like, no, Chucky's on that shit, Usually he like the person get away and we'd have to like meet up later somewhere else. I like that they immediately, he's just like, no. I think it makes him stronger. I think Chucky's the smartest and strongest in this movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He seems to have a good, he constantly seems like he's ahead of everyone and is doing, obviously you don't want him to be doing the right thing because you want Andy to escape him, but it makes sense. And I like that, like Andy and Chucky being in the back of the car, even though it's like, God damn it, Andy, why are you just laying there and taking it?
Yeah, you're right. But I want to go back and say that you make a good point where this is one of the few sequels where the bad guy is pretty much always either ahead or on top of things. And essentially it's just They keep pushing him off enough to make it somewhere else. But because even in part 3, I believe, and I'll amend this if I'm wrong, but I believe he hides more. He plays dull more. There's just a lot more that kind of goes back to the first one in terms of how he's acting. This one, it's like he doesn't have the fucking time. And I like that. You don't see that where it's like, no, I established what I want to do in the first one. I need to do it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I like. I mean, also, and I won't speak for you, but I'm in these, at least the first 3 films, I'm not rooting for Chucky. I think that changes.
No.
Like, with Bride, like, because it just becomes more fun and like punk rock. But these first 3, it's like, no, Chucky's legit a bad guy that you're like, you're rooting against him and hoping he doesn't succeed. And that's just a lot of that has to do with the Alex Vincent being such a good, like, or Andy Barclay being such a good character, and Alex Vincent doing a great job with him, at least for the first 2 films.
A kid lead is a rare thing for me to even like, let alone tolerate, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
As I said, the factory scene is a great example of like, all I want in that scene is for Kyle and Andy to get away. It's like, I'm absolutely rooting for them. I no way do I want Chucky to get near them, because you put yourself in his perspective. But later ones, Chucky's more like Jason way, where I'm like, okay, cool. I want to see him do some fun, inventive kills and say some fun stuff.
You know what's crazy too is you got to know that they probably ended up just like probably tossing, like just putting into a landfill so many of these boxes.
100%.
Or like burning them, something, which then nowadays it's like, damn, you guys could make money off of all this. Fucking sell all this shit.
But they wouldn't do it. They'd just have like 2 rows and then they just copy and paste it,
Yeah. Oh, I mean, nowadays they wouldn't do this practically. But I just mean, if they did have this, then it's like, yeah, fucking be smart and actually utilize this shit and sell it. You could absolutely sell enough of these. Because I believe, because you can get a Chucky doll that is essentially in this box. I think it doesn't. I don't think it's printed like this. I think it's like see-through, where you can actually see
the front
doll.
side should be because I think in part 1 they might be see-through on the other side of the box. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention when I watched it this time, because in the first movie it's see-through. It has the cellophane.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So but again, I don't know if this is supposed to be the back of the box. I don't remember correctly. I think it is, because
you can see there's a shot at 105:32 that like is the setup of the factory, and they show there's some of the boxes are facing the other way, and it's just the animated version of the good guy doll.
I get it. It kind of makes sense, because it's like, well, it's a lot easier than because in the first one, in the behind the scenes, they're talking about how they had to do like a half of a doll to put in the cellophane, and how, they had like 20 of them or something, or I don't know the number. They'd have to keep switching around.
Yeah, because obviously it's this is a lot more practical, because you just have to print the box, which I mean, just in the shot that I'm seeing, there's 300 boxes, so if not more.
It's so cool. It's I never realized it was based off The Shining either. But that was his little Jack in the Maze scene.
Yeah, well, like how it definitely, you can tell with how it's shot, with how the camera follows them and does like has the steady cam, and it looks amazing. It's
a great shot.
Yeah, a favorite. I mean, said earlier, favorite intro. This is my favorite ending as well of these.
Yes.
And also just one of my favorite endings of all time. If you're going to have a killer doll movie, what better place to set it than in the factory that makes them?
But they also utilize the factory, because it's like, this would have been a cool set piece regardless, but they have the Discovery Zone rollers. They have little gates. They have the one worker get like doll eyes jammed in his face. They get Chucky stuck with all sorts of limbs and shit. It's like they're doing all sorts of, and I don't know if any of that even exists, but it's such a cool. Everything's a cool. There's many cool ideas, I should say, in this ending, because they're utilizing the setting in either using cool stuff or making up stuff. Regardless, it works.
Yeah.
They have yet to even get close to this type of feeling.
And I mean, we're only 2 films in, but this starting the trend of, at least for the first 3 movies, Chucky losing his right hand.
Isn't that so cool though? What he puts the knife blade in it.
Oh,
I mean, genius.
And just the look, I will always remember that look of it not having a hand and the gore of it, but then it feels like there's also electrical wire poking out. Like there's just something that doesn't look quite like it's a mixture of human and doll. And I love that.
Yeah. And it's not clean cut. It's like that's ripped, you know, it's like there's different layers and levels. So it just looks painful. Him sticking in it, he even screams. And I like that's a cool little detail. It's like, yeah, because he feels this stuff, you know?
Yeah, because doesn't he put it in like a vice to then be able to get off to get the thing off, handle off? Something
you wouldn't even have to show. You could, I could just believe it, but it's like, oh, that's a smart detail.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. It's more efficient. Again, as we said, this is the most efficient Charles Lee Ray Chucky.
Yeah. How it's shot too, because even the scene where they have to go through the thing that's like putting the eyes down. There's no way that factory, you just pull out a little bit and suddenly it's like you can just walk around, but it's shot in such a way that it feels like, no, this is the only way they have out. Yes. This is their only exit point. So,
and because it's the 90s, am I correct? But the door is locked.
Yeah.
Because in this movie, fuck you if there's a fire.
Yeah. This whole place is just like it. They don't seem to have
exit has a padlock.
Well, they don't seem to have a good. They don't seem to have. Like this place could just go up in flames. They literally just have the one worker working.
I bet a lot of this is because like they probably have a certain insurance policy where they're like, listen, it would suck, but we'd probably all make a big fat check and walk away.
Yeah.
There's a magic store
toy business.
I'll show you a picture. There's a magic store that went on fire in my old hometown. And I remember hearing that it was basically like an open secret that the guy set his place on fire for insurance and he got a lot of money and was able to like retire and do some stuff. I think he might have opened a second magic store, but the cops are saying that there's so much stuff in like the second floor. It was so crowded with all this shit that he would just have to light like half a match and there'd be no proof. So essentially what I'm saying is that I think the good guy company is probably half of that Chuck's Magic Store from my childhood. Kind of willing to burn it all down if they could get the money. Who locks an emergency door with a padlock is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they could tell. They knew what was coming, that the good guy doll bubble was about to burst. So like, we're getting out. Yeah, that's a good point. This is 90, you know, like Tick Me Elmo wasn't too far along. Like, fuck, Cabbage Patches, they're out, man. They're out. Well, it's just so funny to me, too, of like, so many of these things, like so many things could go wrong during this whole process. So, and yet they just have the one guy working it.
I mean, I don't know who's president in 1990. Is this one of those things where it's like, listen, we're not going to hire the union. Like we'll pay Phil and Phil's good enough.
Should have been H.W. Bush. But like even at one point there's one of the dolls, because it's on like a stand, it falls over and it starts a pile up. No one, like Chucky doesn't cause that, and Kyle and Andy don't cause that. That just happens because of the design of how it is. So it's like, this has to happen a lot of just random shit going wrong. That's probably why there's just like random dolls in the background that are just like rejects.
That's a good point. They write it into like the budget. They're like, listen, we're just going to hire the one dude. You know, essentially like we're going to lose this many dolls a day because it's cheaper to lose the dolls and write it off than pay another worker. That's all this movie's telling me.
Yeah. One, it's so good too with Chucky getting put into the machine and it's deformed.
Yeah. You know what? This is the meanest ending of Chucky. In terms of like how they really, which I guess is cathartic after watching 1 and 2 back to back, because they essentially are a continuation. Like he gets even at number one, like, you know, that he keeps coming back, but this is more, they just keep fucking making it worse. You know, they jam all his shit. He loses his hand. He gets melted. And after he gets melted, he gets blown up. I mean, it's, I guess the same thing where he won't die, but like, it's so much more meaner in terms of like what they're doing to him.
Yeah. What doesn't Andy have a line?
Fuck yeah. What I was going to say, this is the end, friend, but that's not the fucking ending.
That's the first one. Damn it. It's right
when
I listened to
when
it,
he
but
grabs
it's not correct.
When he grabs the hot molten plastic.
That's
what
I just watched, and he doesn't say anything.
Dude, what if that's the TV cut we're thinking of?
It must be, because I know he says something right before he does that.
Weird.
God damn, this is insane. Like, what the?
I
fuck?
just watched this like 2 days ago, and I put that part in my head. I'm like, hey, it's a line. It's something.
Yeah,
unless it never exists, and you or me are just in like a shared psychosis. I guess that's always a possibility.
No, there's something, because then he pulls down on that thing, which makes it, because I watched I've probably overtaken it at this point with watching just the regular R-rated version, but I saw the TV cut a shit ton as a kid of the first 3 movies, because it was just always on USA.
I got to be honest, man. The second one I've only seen a handful of times on TV, but I mean, I did see it, but I rented this a lot more. The third one, though, I think is a mix. Honestly, I think the third one is the one I saw on the TV the most.
Yeah, weren't big into the military one.
My dad was in the military, so of course, like that's the one I swear to God, he wouldn't admit it, but like I think he liked that one the most, because I remember he'd like correct things, be like, we wouldn't be doing that. That didn't exist. Yeah, like when the guy talks about his hair being cut, my dad, I remember him pausing the movie. So this must have been obviously when we watched it on VHS, and him telling me why that guy was wrong. I have that memory.
Well, that's fucking hilarious.
But I'll save that for next episode, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Andy and Kyle walk off into the sunset, and we think it's a happy ending, and that's why if it had just been these first 2 movies, like Bravo might be the best 1-2 punch in all of horror.
Yeah, that's the thing earlier. Like it's you don't get better than this. It's a perfect, and I think it's a perfect ending. Actually, this is a perfect ending for the franchise.
Yep.
It's a cool set piece. It's violent. It's weird. We got a bunch of cool deaths, interesting things happening, and they kill him in such an aggressive, mean way. I'm saying, like you said, stuffing him, melting him, blowing him up. It is clearly the end of the end. It to me, not saying that aloud, it seems like what they're going for, even though we both know that's not how horror movies work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels very finite. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, Child's Play 3 came out less than a year later.
Because this did so well. Yeah, because 3 was the most rushed. I think that's why. Oh my gosh, who's the writer? I can't fucking think of it right now.
Well, that's why they replaced.
Right?
I don't know if he hates it. I just know that that's why they replaced Alex Vincent, because they made the decision. They said, which we'll get into more when we do the next episode, but like they essentially said that, hey, we've done what we can with Chucky going after a little kid. Let's age him up a bit, which then, since it only been less than a year later, like Alex Vincent was not grown up enough.
But that also means that we have a Friday the 13th style timeline where if 3 takes place, he has to be 16 or 15 at the least to be in military school.
Yeah.
So let's be nice and put him 15, and he's what, 6, 7 here? I mean, we could say it's a year later, technically, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like he's 6 in the first. So I'm going to say 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, yeah, that's like what. So that means that essentially, if this movie takes place 7 years later, or part 3 takes place 6, 7 years after this, then 4 has to take place in like 2005. You know?
Yeah, which honestly, as much as I could see 4 taking place in 2005.
I'm gonna keep an eye out. Yeah, maybe they just actually do well, you know what? They're smart. Well, let's see. Actually,
cell phones would be prominent, which cell phones are not prominent. So
I mean, not a ton though, man. 2005, they were around, but they weren't like everywhere. I was doing a lot of dumb stuff in that era, so I know that the phone wasn't good enough to ruin my life.
Oh yeah,
But we'll get
definitely
that.
not.
We'll get that.
Yeah.
But obviously the way we're talking about this, 2 stars, of course. Right?
Well, what's
Could
your
be better.
favorite kill?
Oh, easy. The teacher and the ruler. That's iconic. I will think of that for the rest of my life. That's one of those things that you talk about in the playground. Though I got to find the lead scene now and see it more aggressively. I think if it was gorier, it'd have been cooler for sure. But like you said, I think it's one of those. It's like filmed eloquently, and that does enough for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find that stuff, and that might be the thing that we talk about in the beginning of the next episode is the stuff we found from Child's Play 2.
If we do, then we'll say it now. If you listen to this, there might be some extra stuff at the beginning of episode 3.
Yeah. But yeah, I have the same teacher. The teacher kill is great, and it shows the implied violence can work very well. It we've seen it in the past. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho. It can be something that you remember. It can cause be more impactful, even with less actual on-screen impact. Just something that I think, especially nowadays, we've seen everything. Especially if you've watched the fucking Terrifier movies, it's like, okay, we've seen it all. Like I'm cool with going back around and more just things being like classily done and just like it more implied. And I don't need to always see everything.
I think especially for this series, the first one and this, though this one is more violent, like was never a series, at least at this point, where I was like the kills had to be this extravagant thing. I think essentially you're still thinking of Chucky as a scary doll and just more like what he's going to get away with. So, we're not at the Fred 13th levels where I'm like, come on, we didn't blow up his head and just shove this up his ass,
Yeah, that is interesting because I would say that's one thing with the Child's Play franchise is the star is Chucky. Like that happens with Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday as well, but there's the kills still come into play with that. And with Chucky, it's like it's like that's what you care about. You don't need crazy violent kills. It's all just about I need Chucky to be talking shit and being a menace.
Sure. But later on, they have to up the kills just to kind of keep it interesting. So I think it's just funny because, what we consider to be prime peak Chucky is not necessarily one where the deaths are, important. I mean, they're cool, but they're not something where I'm rating it. Like we're talking our favorite kill because that's what this series has. But I don't give a shit where it's like, if you think about even in Cult or Curse, like those, it's like, the poison or the glass and the chair where she's strapped to, it's like there's things where it's like, these are crazy epic kills. And it's like at this point, I wasn't even thinking of them. I think 3 is where that starts. Probably I would even argue 3 is actually where it starts because 3 has the dump truck and stuff like that, where it's like, that we're getting a little wilder.
Yeah, which ironically, I think that the TV show actually has the most violent kills. That's like, the TV show that aired on cable has the most violent kills of the entire franchise.
Times have changed,
times?
Man. I was going to say, Walking Dead, I really do think it changed things for the better when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, very true. Well, I think we've pretty much done it. Make sure to listen to or subscribe to our Patreon. We have some fun extra episodes on there. Also, if you want some ad-free episodes, you can also check, if you want to listen to the Chucky franchise ad-free, those are also up on Patreon. And thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.